Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ranking Member Blumenthal. I know we're looking at several bills here, but I have a developing crisis in my state, Dr. Jane, that I'd like to talk about. I think all the members of this committee care deeply about our veterans. I certainly do, as a veteran myself, coming from a state with the largest per capita number of veterans in the country. And I've certainly viewed my role on this committee as wanting to work with the VA, wanting to work with you, the leadership, secretary. That's been the approach, constructive approach to trying to solve our numerous problems. But I must admit, after what's been going on in my state the last few months, I'm starting to lose patience. And as you know, Dr. Jane, the Choice Act in many ways took some of the positive aspects of what we were actually doing in Alaska with regard to VA healthcare. Many of the challenges that we have, many are unique given our distances, given the number of veterans we have, the partnerships that we've developed. We had a system that wasn't perfect by any means, but in many ways it was working. Now we have, I think, without exaggeration, a 5-alarm fire going on in my state with our veterans because of the way the Choice Act is being implemented. So, Mr. Chairman, for the record, a couple things. AP story, federal VA healthcare program jeopardizes Alaska system. I'd like to submit all of these for the record with your permission. A local TV report in Alaska last week, Veterans Federal Health Program under fire due to healthcare delays. Senator Murkowski, the senior senator from Alaska, several pages to Secretary McDonald, Congressman Young, Governor Bill Walker, the governor of Alaska, all within the last 2 weeks. Urgent problems in Alaska. It's a very big crisis. And part of the problem that we've seen with this crisis is this issue of the lack of accountability that has been an ongoing matter we've discussed today, but we've been talking about for months. We worked, my staff, Senator Murkowski's staff, worked with the local VA in Alaska. They helped us identify these problems with regard to the implementation of the Choice Act. They knew it was a problem, and then when we raised it to senior staff in Washington, you know what they said? This is not our fault. It's Congress's fault because they implemented the Choice Act. As recently as last week, we were hearing from officials here that there's no problem in Alaska. Well, let me guarantee you there's a problem in Alaska, a big problem. So I talked to Dr. Shulkin last night. I was going to put a hold on his nomination because of this. He was confirmed, as you know, last night. He's going to be your new boss. And I got a commitment from him to come to Alaska as part of field hearings. This is an issue that is way bigger than this hearing. So, Mr. Chairman, Senator Blumenthal, I appreciate the opportunity to have field hearings in the state from the committee. I certainly would want to invite any members of the committee to come to Alaska to learn about our unique challenges, this problem. But Dr. Jane, I know that in many ways you're not responsible for this, but here's what I need from you, a commitment. Dr. Shulkin committed to me he would come to Alaska as part of these hearings to help address these issues. These hearings will be in August. I want a commitment from you as someone who understands the bureaucracy, he's brand new, to help make sure when you get to Alaska, it's not just to hear what the issues are, we know what the issues are, to have solutions, to have ready solutions to what is clearly a crisis in a state that in many ways was the model for the Choice Act. And now implementing the Choice Act, we're undermining the whole system in Alaska. It's Phoenix all over again. People are having their appointments canceled at the last minute, showing up for surgery. And the VA in Washington has to take responsibility. it can't blame this on the Congress. So can I get your commitment on that to help Dr. Shulkin come to my state with answers, with solutions when he comes up in August?
Yes, sir, Senator. Thank you for that question, and I completely agree with you. I know that Dr. Tushmit and Dr. Lynch recently visited your state and saw firsthand how the healthcare is structured, working with Department of Defense joint ventures and also with the Alaska Native healthcare model. And
these models are very innovative.
they're very innovative.
And now they're not working.
Well, no, I understand, and I think that's what they've come back. What I understand from them is that they're now committed to supporting those models because it is what is working. We can't have veterans going 500 miles or 400 miles, and so what I heard from them is that they are committed to supporting that, and I would certainly take the word back in terms of Dr. Shulkin's support for the field hearing that you bring up.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Chairman, sorry it took so long on this, but it's a huge issue for my state, and we need to fix it.
And the record should reflect that the senator from Alaska came to me over a month ago about having a field hearing in Alaska, which I have approved. And I think it's an important field hearing to have. And I want to also acknowledge the fact that he could have last night, had he exercised his authority as a senator, held up Dr. Shulkin's final approval, but he did not, in the spirit of cooperation. I hope that the VA will, in the same spirit of cooperation, will ensure that Dr. Shulkin and the appropriate people are in Alaska with solutions and not questions when you have the field hearing.
Yes, sir.
And thank